of Commerce for having this forum and allowing us the opportunity to meet the public and let the public know what we're all about. I'd also like to thank the library, the Terrebonne Parish Library, especially the East Branch, for hosting us tonight. And I'd like to thank each and every one of you here in the audience tonight, because each and every one of you took the time out of your evening and came to listen because you cared about public education in Terrebonne Parish. And that's what's important. It's important that we all care about education in Terrebonne Parish. I grew up in Terrebonne Parish. I was born in New Orleans, but we moved here when I was 5 years old. Started public school right here at Elysian Field School, right a few blocks from here. And went to public school all my life, graduated from South Terrebonne High School. My dad was a school teacher. My mom was a secretary in a school. My grandmother was the head cook at Montague Middle School. My grandfather was a janitor at Montague Middle School. And my other grandfather was actually a janitor at Edgard High School. So with all this education in my blood and in my DNA, it only seemed right that I move forward and go into education. When I started college, I didn't quite know what I wanted to do. What I knew I wanted to do, though, was make a difference in public education in Terrebonne Parish. I didn't know it would take me, I guess it was 26 years to actually get on the school board because, I followed different routes along the way. I taught 17 years in the public system, and when you're teaching, you can't get on the school board, or you have to give up your job teaching. Then I worked at Lumcon down in Cocodrie for 10 years. It was a state agency, and when you work for a state agency, you can't run for school board, so couldn't do it then. Then when I was working at Fletcher, teaching computer science, the opportunity presented itself. God said, all right, it's time. So I went to the registrar of voters and qualified and decided to run for school board. So 4 years ago, District 5 decided or made me their choice to be their voice on the school board. And that's what I want to continue to do, is be the voice for District 5 on the school board. Everybody, all stakeholders need a voice in the decision-making process on the school board, starting with the business community. It's very important that the business community has a voice on the school board. Any good business person, I own the Busy Bee Clinic, and any good business person knows that if you don't have a good strategic plan and you plan for the future, 5, 10 years down the road, and you don't have a clear vision of where you want your business to go, you won't be successful. It's the same thing with the school board. We need a clear vision with objectives, goals that tell us where we want to go, where we want to be 5 years down the road. As Mr. Thomas said, we're a B school district right now. That's not good enough for me. I think we need to be an A school district. And we can only accomplish that if we have that vision in front of us and we decide we want to be an A school district. And then we make the goals and objectives that will get us to be an A school district. There are 3 areas that we really need this strategic plan to focus on. The first area is curriculum. We need to decide what we want to do in curriculum over the next 5 years. One of the reasons we need to do that is simple, that it costs money to provide curriculum, things like textbooks and just supplies for the different things we need in the classroom, manipulatives for our math classes. And if we don't decide what we want 5 years down the road in curriculum, how are we going to decide financially what we need? So we need financial planning for the future. Then we have to have some place to put all of this. So we need to have planning for our facilities. So we need to decide what we have, what buildings we have, and what we need. There's been a lot of movement from down the bayou, up the bayou. That's a big talk, everybody's moving from the bayous, right? So we need schools further north in the parish. Well, maybe that's the case, but has anybody done an enrollment study to decide where we really need the schools? Well, A year and a half ago, Ms. Benoit on the school board amended the motion when we decided to close 3 schools. And her amendment said we would do a study before we close any more schools or build any more schools. And so I want to make sure in the next 4 years, or sooner than the next 4 years, that study is done. Back to giving the business community a choice. With the strategic plan, all stakeholders should have a part in this plan, including the business community. The business community knows about planning, so we should have input from them. The teachers know about planning. They have to plan lesson plans every single day. So we need to include the teachers in this planning process. The Blue Ribbon Committee that was formed as a result of the failed millage a couple of years ago, or a year and a half ago, was a good start in including all stakeholders coming together to make plans for the future for Terrebonne Parish. I want to see that continue. So that's one of the things that I want to see, to give the business community a voice in our system. There are a lot of issues in our school system. Common Core is not the biggest issue facing our school system. Parental involvement is not, or lack of parental involvement is not the biggest issue facing our school system. The biggest issue facing our school system is that the people making decisions about education do not listen to the people hired to educate our children in the classroom. And until the people making decisions, and I'm talking on a district level, I'm talking on a